Great film, Keanu. I would like to know if there are any secrets of throwing a football ball right, if you learned on the process of...
Any secrets? If you were going to throw something, I would say breath. Breath, and you want to relax.
What about is there a specific techniques in American football that you were supposed to learn during the...
Certainly, yeah. In order to play the position, or any position, there are certainly inherent techniques. Footwork, posture, balance, transition of weight and momentum, you know, your grip on the ball, placement of eyes, follow through.
I thought the film was very interesting because it uses football to narrate a human story about, in a way, an everyday person who goes into extraordinary circumstances. Was all these elements what attracted you about the story? If you can tell us a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, what you just said actually encapsulates the film, yeah. I don't really know what to say after that sentence. I mean, that's kind of what it's about.
Was it difficult for you to identify with Falco?
No, I mean, the character has had... no, I mean, he's had some hard luck, and it's someone who's, you know, has fears and situations, and he's trying to overcome them, and I'm very familiar with that, so, no, it's a character I could relate to.
A quarterback has to be a leader of the team. Would you say that Falco grows within the movie throughout the film? How does he grow?
Yeah, I mean, Gene Hackman's character, he plays the coach, you know, keeps telling me, you know, there's a leader within you. You have to want the ball. You have to take responsibility. You can't be afraid. And the film is the journey of this man who is trying to regain something he's lost.
Can you give us a little background? What was the reason that he's in this situation? What happened
my character,
to him?
Shane Falco, is a man who is a promising prospect in football. He was a quarterback, and he had in American football, in college there's what they call the bowl series, and there's a bunch of bowl games, and he has a disastrous Sugar Bowl. He loses by 45 points, interceptions. He goes to the pros, and he wants to be a football player. That's his vocation, and he gets put in a situation that he can't do, and he ends up getting beat up. He ends up getting tackled so much, and the game of football is so physically brutal that in the end I likened it to being shell-shocked, where you involuntarily wince, and that because he has that same condition, he can't play the game, and so he doesn't play anymore, and he's alone. He's on a boat. He's cleaning the bottoms of boats. And he's trying to figure out what he can do in his life, and he gets a second chance to, you know, to play football and to conquer his fear, and to grow into a leader. You know.
Would you say that football players, American football players, are they considered social heroes in America in a way, and why?
I think what I can discern is that there's an expectation for a social hero. I don't know if the sport itself is something that procures social heroes. There are people who play the game who have philanthropic interests, but I don't know if just because I want to play football, I have to be a hero to a kid. You know what I mean? If you're a priest, you know, that's an inherent expectation. In football, there isn't. But it seems that American culture wants anybody who achieves a kind of public celebrity aspect to have an expectation of a you know, role model aspect, I guess.
In this film, I think that well, a group of actors, they have to get to know each other, and
sometimes. You don't necessarily have to get to know each other to do the job.
No, I mean professionally, right?
Uh-huh.
In this case, they're trying to to create a team of football players.
Right.
I would like to know if that process was difficult.
In this film, no. In
and-
this film, you know, everyone came together very quickly. There was a real affinity and enjoyment from each other in terms of company. Everyone got along, just lots of jokes and a real common interest to make the script better, to do what it took to make a scene work, in a real collaboration and give and take. Sometimes in comedy, someone can try to overwhelm a scene, and there was a real kind of respect of give and take here, you know, which I think comes across on screen.
Can you talk a little about the relation between your character and Martel?
Yeah, I mean, Brett Cullen plays a character who's an established championship-winning quarterback, and I am a replacement player who's taking his place for a replacement team. My character has a great respect for him as a football player. His character has no respect for me as a football player, and doesn't have much respect. He doesn't have much respect for people. So that's the difference. It's just that my character is a little less judgmental,
More
and
respectful.
a little less aggressive to people, you know. And his character is a little more aggressive and disrespectful.
Considering that there are all these elements in this film, I mean, all the games, the narrative within the love story, how was Howard to work with?
Howard Deutsch. Howard Deutsch is a really good collaborator, and I think he has a strong connection to his feeling. And so that's good for if, you know, you're doing something and it's not working. Sometimes he won't articulate the how and why, but he can tell you that it's not working, which in the end is all you know, but he can also tell you when it is working. He comes from an editing tradition, so he doesn't like open ends. He likes things to be cut and to be straight and understandable. And I think for this piece, that's a good quality to have.
Keanu, can you tell us about the impact that the character of Annabelle has on Falco?
Yeah, Annabelle and Shane fall in love. And they do it in a nice way. I always pictured it as love at first sight, you know. But beyond that, it kind of develops into a kindred spirit. I think they're both people who protect themselves, protect their hearts, and that it's very hard for them to open up to people. And I think through the course of the film, they decide to take the chance with each other. And as my character says, he says to her, "You give me strength," you know. And I think that a bond develops that will. I don't know what happens in the end, but maybe they they fall in love.
My last is the film about hope, second chances, about.
Certainly one of the themes, yeah.